سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. سبحانك لا فهم لنا إلا ما فهمتنا إنك أنت الجواد الكريم. وقل رب زدني علما. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. ولن ترضى عنك اليهود ولا النصارى حتى تتبع ملتهم قل إن هدى الله هو الهدى ولئن اتبعت أهواءهم بعد الذي جاءك من العلم ما لك من الله من ولي ولا نصير. صدق الله مولانا العظيم. So after the mention of many instances of the efforts of particularly the Jews and also Christians and mushriks to divert Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam on the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to mankind. So here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions actually the reality of their inner mindset and heart set. وَلَن تَرْضَى عَنْكَ الْيَهُودُ وَلَن نَّصَارَى حَتَّى تَتَّبِعَ مِلَّتَهُم. Actually, they'll never be happy with you. Whatever proof and whatever ayats and whatever, absolutely clear and manifest proofs of Islam and of his Risala and of Deen, it's going to be irrelevant. They're not going to follow your guidance because they're not interested in guidance. In fact, they would never be happy with you until and unless you followed their misguidance. So they don't want guidance, they want you to follow their hawa. So they'll never be happy unless you follow their religion, their way of life, and their concepts. Their eschewed concepts, by the way. قُلْ إِنَّ هُدَى اللَّهِ هُوَ الْهُدَى. So the guidance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that alone is guidance. Whatever they're on is misguidance, it's off guidance. As a matter of fact, وَإِنْ اتَّبَعْتَ أَهْوَاءَهُم. As a matter of fact, what they follow has nothing to do with guidance. It has everything to do with hawa, their machinations, their desires, their fancies. So someone says, well, but they have, they're the recipients of former scriptures. They're Ahl al-Kitab, right? So they have the Torah, they have the Injil. And so how can that be called hawa? Well, they were the recipients of those scriptures, but because of their hawa, because of their desires and their fancies and their desires to follow what they wanted to do. In other words, deen should follow their desires, not our desires should follow the deen. So what they're following has nothing to do with the guidance of those scriptures. It has everything to do with what they would like to do, their desires and their imagination. And furthermore, and if you follow their hawa, if you follow their misguidance, after after the true knowledge and true guidance comes to you, you would never find a helper or someone to be an ally for you other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And obviously, Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam is never going to follow their misguidance. So who is this directed to? So again, it's pointing to the fact that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is in no need of anyone, even prophets or angels or anything. Allah is Allah, He is Samad. However, actually the dialogue is directed verbally or literally to Rasulullah, but actually who's being addressed? Those who actually follow her. So if Nabi sallallahu, as we say, ala sabil al-iftirad, supposingly, if he were to follow, then even he being the prophet would find no helper from Allah. In other words, Allah would take retribution from him. So if that's the case with a prophet, then what about others? So those who have invented these, lies and deceit, what's going to be, their lot? It also points to us, as we keep saying, that actually the message is for us. So what does that mean? It means that we are also not to follow their whims and their fancies. And even though, and now this is a very important issue in this time and age, because what's happening is we want Just as Nabi Islam was very concerned with the guidance of humanity, we are also concerned with it. Every Muslim wants everybody to accept Islam. However, Islam is Islam. It is not what other people would like it to be. It is what it is. Islam is what it is. Quran and Sunnah. So we want and we're desirous of humanity, of the entire humanity, but we're not going to change our concepts. We're not going to change our beliefs. We're not going to change our traditions and our customs and our practices just because somebody doesn't happen to like it or it's not comfortable or whatever, the case. This is our religion. We follow it. And we want everyone to follow it. And we will remain upon it. And we are not to follow the hawa of others. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give me and all of us tawfiq wa akhir da'wana an alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.